So, in this video, we will try to understand a very important area for your main examination related to revolt of 1857. It is mainly important for your main examination, not preliminary examination. They can ask some question in prelims also, no doubt about it, but it is generally important, relevant for our main examination. Why? Because there is a debate among historians, administrators, writers, right, related to the character or the nature of a revolt of 1857, right. And they generally give you a statement and you have to, right, examine that statement. They can give you, right, related to any view and you have to examine that, right, you can say. So, when you know what should be your conclusion, when you know how different historians have different views, you can handle those questions, right. So, we are discussing in this video nature of a revolt of 1857, nature of 1857 revolt. Is it okay? So, I told you that extensive, right, writing on this topic, nature of revolt of 1857, extensive writing, different views. Initially, British writers, they had their own opinion. So, there are different views. So, we can always remember that there are different views regarding, right, this nature of revolt of 1857. Like first, right, we can add that the British historians, right, maintained, British historians maintained that the revolt had been nothing, right, had been nothing, right, nothing more than a sepoy mutiny, right, sepoy mutiny. You should remember this term. So, for them it was nothing more than a sepoy mutiny. So, you should remember this word, right. So, sepoy mutiny. Most of the British writers, they use this word sepoy mutiny. So, it was not a rebellion, it was a mutiny, sepoy mutiny. This was, right, their stand, sepoy mutiny. Who was generally, right, related to this kind of approach, sepoy mutiny? So, we can remember there are two important names, right, Sir John Lawrence. Again, you can avoid Sir, right. So, Sir John Lawrence, Sir John Lawrence and, right, Seeley. Why we are mentioning it? Because in prelims also they can give you sepoy mutiny. So, you should match it with John Lawrence and Seeley. These two are very popular names. So, they considered it as a mere mutiny, as a mere sepoy mutiny, nothing more than a sepoy mutiny, right. And they tried to, you can say, convince us that it was only a soldiers' revolt, we managed it, we suppressed it, and they, I can say, they were governed by their own agenda, so, right. So, they tried to convince us that it was nothing more than a sepoy mutiny. Should we consider it as a sepoy mutiny? What do you think? whether it was a mere sepoy mutiny. Now you know the causes of revolt of 1857. Now you know that different sections of the society participated. So how can we accept the opinion of John Lawrence and Seeley? So it was not a sepoy mutiny alone that we have to remember. Peasants involved, artisans involved, different classes involved, and the sepoys were also present in uniform. So it cannot be considered as a sepoy mutiny. Fine. So they can give you and you have to reject it. Then the second view, second important opinion about it was that some of the writers considered it as a war of independence, like Savarkar. Savarkar was the first who called it organized war of national independence. Organized war of national independence, and even Disraeli considered it as a national revolt. Then Ashok Mehta, historian Ashok Mehta, he also tried to prove it as a national revolt. Right. Then Pattabhi Sitaramaiah, modern historian, right, after independence, Pattabhi Sitaramaiah, Pattabhi Sitaramaiah also recognized it as the first war of independence, recognized it as a first war of independence, right. Fine. So this kind of opinion you have, and then right, very popular opinion, you must be knowing it, right, by R.C. Majumdar, and it can be asked also, very popular statement. R.C. Majumdar, what R.C. Majumdar said? That it was neither first nor national, right, nor you can say war of independence. So it was neither first. Why neither first? Before that also there were many reactions. Tribal reaction, civil revolts, sepoy revolts. Can you give example? Neither first nor national. Why not national? Right? Why not national? Because no all India presence, all sections of society did not participate, and it was not war of independence. Jhansi ki Rani was fighting for Jhansi. So that kind of idea, R.C. Majumdar, right, had this kind of opinion. Right, we are saying these are opinions. We are not saying that they are correct or they are not correct. Right. So if they are asking, you have to evaluate, and finally you have to write what? In conclusion, that it was a popular struggle. Most of the section participated. There was some kind of nationalism also. Right. So like that we have to handle. So R.C. Majumdar. Then we can mention the next view. Next view is Coupland historian called it Muslim revolt, because they were the ruling groups, so they revolted. It was a Muslim revolt, right. Then you will see that Sir James Outram, he considered it as a Hindu-Muslim conspiracy. Hindu-Muslim conspiracy. So this kind of opinion, But what you have to write in your examination in case they ask it, can you consider it only as a Muslim reaction or the Hindu-Muslim conspiracy? No, it was a joint effort, and it was not just a reaction by Hindu and Muslim, it was not a religion based only, economic grievance, political grievance, right? Do you remember that? So how can you only consider it as a religious reaction? No, it was not only a religious reaction. This you have to remember. They will give you a statement. They will give you that it was a war against Christians. No, it was not war against Christians, it was war against colonialism. They were reacting against English rule. They were reacting against Christian missionaries, of course, conversion, of course, but it was mainly against the colonial rule, not exactly against Christians. So they can give you this kind of a statement and it will be a trap. You have to, right, judge it very properly. These are opinions, right. Then we can also add that according to S.N. Sen, next view about the nature, according to S.N. Sen said, what began as a fight for religion, ended as a war of independence. As a war of independence. They are giving you this kind of a statement as a question. What you think? Just think about it. S.N. Sen said, what began as a fight for religion ended as a war of independence. S.N. Sen. You consider it correct or not that it began as a fight for religion, religious cause, sepoy also disturbed by religion, right? And then gradually how it ended as a war of independence. So it has some exaggeration. It did not, right, actually end as a war of independence, but yes, there was some common enemy, there was some new consciousness, right? So S.N. Sen, right, considered, and he is a very popular historian. He wrote the official history of 1857, S.N. Sen. So therefore, S.N. Sen is very important, very important. Then we can also mention that some Marxist writers, some Marxist historian considered this revolt as a struggle of the soldier peasant, right, combined, soldier peasant combined against foreign imperialism, as well as indigenous landlordism, soldier peasant combined against foreign imperialism and indigenous landlordism. So now Marxist writer, they are considering as a class conflict, but you have to remember that it was not merely a class conflict, it is a narrow interpretation. So they can come out with any opinion and you have to write that most of the section participated. It was not just a, you can say, class kind of conflict that these two classes combined against landlordism and imperialism. So this kind of approach. Then we can also remember a very popular view, right, of T.R. Holmes. Right, are you familiar with this view? T.R. Holmes, he said this revolt was a conflict. Between civilization and barbarism. Conflict between civilization and barbarism. Right. So conflict between civilization and barbarism. And they gave you many evidence that how Indian soldiers started killing their officers, right? They started saying that innocent, right, English men, women, children, innocent English men, women, children, right, they all, right, they were killed, they were massacred. They talked about a very popular incident what I mentioned, right, Sati Chaura Ghat incident related to Nana Sahib, right. But whenever you are realizing it, so we were barbaric and they were civilized. Can you believe this? No, even they also behaved like barbaric, you can say. Their behavior also barbaric. General Neil killed thousands of innocent men and women on his way from Banaras to Allahabad. Then after capturing Delhi, there was a Delhi massacre, killing the son of Bahadur Shah Jafar, young, right, and they were killed. So how can they say that it was a clash, it was a conflict between barbarism and civilization? They also behaved in a barbaric manner. So this kind of analysis is meaningless. We have to explain, we have to consider all those factors for this revolt. You just cannot consider it as civilization versus barbaric conflict. Fine. So this kind of you can say view they can ask. Of course, we cannot collect all those views, but these 4 or 5 views you can remember that whether this was right, a popular revolt or not. So we can always consider it as a popular reaction. So always whenever you are concluding, you can always consider it as a popular reaction. It was not a one class or the sepoy reaction or sepoy mutiny. Then there is one more debate, you will see it in your textbook regarding the revolt of 1857, that whether it was a planned revolt. What you think about it? You must think about it, that whether it was a planned revolt. It was a planned revolt or not. What you think? It was a planned revolt. I told you that there was a fixed date and it started before the fixed date. So when you are fixing the date of the revolt, it is right, you can consider it a planned revolt. Then there are some story regarding the circulation of different thing. So in that context also it was a planned revolt. There was some statement you will see in some of your text regarding Sitaram Baba before the Judicial Commission of the Mysore. It also suggested what? Some kind of planning. It gave you impression, right, related to some kind of planning. So you have some idea that it was, right, a planned revolt. Even when they reached Delhi, they were writing, right, you can say, they were writing letters, they were organizing, right. So this kind of indications, stories, right, suggest that it was a planned revolt. But when you will read your Bipin Chandra, in the first page only, that they will give you the story that when the sepoys started entering into the, right, the Red Fort, right, Bahadur Shah Jafar surprised, he had no idea, he was surprised. So when Bahadur Shah Jafar had no idea, right, so how can you say that there was some element of planning? And even if there was planning, they could not implement those plans. So what we have to remember, that even if there was some planning, they could not implement, there was no coordination. And because of this, because of the lack of coordination, lack of planning, lack of proper, right, you can say implementation, even if there was some planning, right, this revolt failed. So we should not consider it, this revolt, as, right, you can say proper planned revolt or successful planned revolt. Even if there was a planning, they could not implement, right, you can say this planning. Done. So when you remember these aspects related to revolt of 1857, you can handle most of the question, right. and always conclude in the context of what, that how this revolt acquired popular character. Most of the section participated and it acquired popular character, and it was a direct threat. It was a great threat for the British Empire, right, no doubt about it, right. It was suppressed, but it was a great threat for the British Empire, right. Okay.